doing a real quick video on my thoughts of the new Tim Holtz tonic trimmer. I got this from Kat on the Kat Scrappiness webpage, and she's part of our Stamping Enablers group, so thank you, Kat. I first saw this on Jennifer McGuire's videos. She does the end of the year of her favorites, so I have been needing a new trimmer. The one that I use daily is the Fiskars trimmer, which is great. It stores easily. It fits right here in a little nook of my desk. I actually have this one. I have the smaller version, and then I have obviously the real big Fiskars rotary one for when I'm doing my scrapbook pages. But for normal everyday card making, this is the one I'm using. And I've probably had this for about 5 years. And what's going on now, I'll show you here, is when I go to cut, hold on here, I'm kind of filming and doing this one-handed. And that plastic piece, there was a plastic covering here, similar to this one, and it had popped off years ago. So, but when I cut this, and bear with me a second here while I cut this and hold the camera, as it starts to hang up towards the bottom there, and I really have to give it pressure. And if I'm not using a thicker cardstock, it actually, right about here, it starts to tear the paper instead of cutting the paper. And I actually kind of have it marked with marker there so that I know that if I use a paper anything bigger than that. Now, I know that you guys have all told me to email Fiskars, send them a picture when that happens, and they will replace it, which I have not gotten around to doing yet. I will do that because I really do like this trimmer. It is small and is easy to use, but I thought, you know what, let me try something else. So let's try the new Tim Holtz tonic one. Now, the one thing I did notice is this is very light. It is not as heavy as the Fiskars one, or probably the same weight, and it's in size, you can see it's a little wider than the Fiskars one. And if you're making an A2 card and you're going out past the 5-inch mark, if you're going to 5.5 inches, you kind of have to eyeball it and say, okay, well, that's 5 1/4, so 5.5 is out here somewhere. I like this platform because this platform is larger, so you have the different measurements here, so you can see this goes all the way out past 6 inches in paper, so you could probably mark this to 6 1/4, even 6.5 if you needed to. It's gridded. It has the markings on here for 3.5, 2 by 3.5, so very nice for standard card making. The right side is heavier than the left side. It's just, you know, it's made out of plastic. It does have this removable plastic piece if you want to take that out. The blade, as you can see, is very similar to the Fiskars blade. So let's cut something with it, right? So I just stamped out these new colors. I'm going to put these in my swatch book. Stamp these out and see how we do here. And you can tell when that blade goes through, it's a very sharp cut. Now, I don't do a lot of detailed cutting. I know there are some of you that do very fine cutting. You want to put a decorative edge on your paper. So I'm just going to move this out a tiny bit and let's see how it does here. Get my finger out of the way. It does a very nice job at cutting a very small strip of paper. And I'm sure you could even go thinner than that. So for the price point, I think this is very reasonable. Like I said, Kat had this on her page, and I think it was, don't quote me, $25 maybe. So check it out, but I think it's a nice trimmer if you're looking for something a little larger than the Fiskars trimmer. I like my Fiskars trimmer, but I don't want the big mama one out here when I'm just doing card making. This is small, this is easy to store away. But again, I have to get Fiskars involved with, these are supposed to be lifetime blades, with getting that handled. I do like the measurements on the tonic one. The tonic one is a little bigger, so I see this one as going to be my first go-to. So if you have any questions, let me know. But that is my comparison on the two trimmers. Thanks, guys.